happen to be rich.
We're talking about the financial meltdown and how the campaign was rolling along, being about this and that, sometimes about important things, sometimes not. And then suddenly this issue that was brewing under the surface for a long time, my analogy of it is more like an iceberg. Both candidates are now fully engaged in this topic. Whenever there's a disruption, people are woken up out of their dream state. So we have a kind of an iceberg with Obama. In the berg with him is Robert Rubin, former Secretary of the Treasury, and Lawrence Summers, also under the Clinton administration, and you have Clinton in there too. But oddly, with Obama and these people, you would expect more fire. You know, you think of Harry Truman or Kennedy and how they could bring the case. In this case, they're still a little cool. McCain has more of a record on this, and there's more to draw. The whole thing started with the 80s and Reagan. That was really the beginning of the major movement to deregulate financial institutions. And Reaganomics included backing away from regulation and much more of a laissez-faire attitude. And things started to get wild and woolly. We had all kinds of bubbles, booms and busts. So Reagan is responsible for Alan Greenspan, who's kind of a disciple of this idea. And Phil Gramm in Senate actually slipped into legislation a provision called the Commodity Futures Modernization Act. And this paved the way for the greed-fed meltdown in housing. And McCain was part of that movement too, voting against regulation and then becoming part of the Keating Five, becoming a pawn of the savings and loan scandal. He was interested through his entire career, and he has said it many times, in taking controls away. And now in speeches, McCain is suddenly a financial maverick, calling for government oversight and the sudden reapplication of regulations of different kinds to protect investors from themselves. In a way, he's kind of mavericking himself now. That can't be easy. So the meltdown is actually seen in red. It's a red mess that we have. Red ink, red states, and red trickling down everywhere.
Once I built a railroad.